co-op.
Well, one of the things that we try to do with this show is to teach people about activism, about getting involved, and that it's not just in one way. Because a lot of times people think of activism as standing out with a sign or running for an office. And I think you're right. I think a lot of the times people think that that change has to be immediate. And we talk about that it's a gradual change, and that you're right. Sometimes it's a give and take, and sometimes you have to do some negotiating. But if you don't lose sight of what you're trying to accomplish, and I think that there can be some great rewards.
Certainly, the people who got involved in reforming the co-op, if they had given up, we wouldn't be where we are today.
And so that's one of the neat things.
So it's just persistence, sticking with it, doing your homework, and not taking no for an answer.
Yeah, and asking questions, and I think
Absolutely.
I think that's one of the things that it eventually has come out, and you just keep asking those questions, especially when you're told no. And I think that's one of the things that or you're told no, you can't run, and I like that.
That's certainly what got me when they said no. The members of the co-op can't run for the board of directors. We're going to choose the directors. That's what got me riled up.
Now, I'm going to kind of switch gears a little bit, because one of the things when we let everyone know that you were going to be on the show tonight, I got some different feedback from some people, and I had one of our viewers, Jeff, was going to be at a meeting tonight, and I know a lot of you that may not be watching live, you do catch us later on, and we appreciate that. So Facebook is always a good way to, or email us, let us know some of the questions you want to ask. But Jeff had asked, there seems to be a wave of effort to scrutinize and even shut down small power companies in Texas. These companies seem to serve their customers well, and we need all the power we can get in a fast-growing state. Yet there seems to be a double standard biased against small power and toward creating supply shortages. Can you comment on this trend and how it might affect PEC?
Well, I think that what your questioner is asking about is that it's a good question, because back in the late 90s, Texas restructured the electric power industry and deregulated the generation side of the business. The distribution or the delivery side of the business is still a regulated function, except for in the case of cooperatives and municipalities, where the co-op boards or the municipal government actually regulates those functions still. Some municipal governments still own generation, and even some co-ops own generation. Pedernales Electric does not currently own any electric generation facilities, but in that competitive market which we now have in Texas, there is a thirst for increased market share for the output of generation facilities. So there is a tendency towards, and it's not just in Texas, it's nationwide. There's increasing pressure on cooperatives, electric cooperatives, and other and public power entities like municipal governments. So there's a natural tension, and it's been that way for many, many years. It's from the beginning of the electric power industry. Electric co-ops were formed because those privately owned or investor-owned utilities didn't see profit opportunity in extending service into the rural areas of the country. So so that tension between private investor-owned utilities and member-owned, member-controlled co-ops and municipalities, municipal utilities, has been around for a very long time.
Okay, well, good. Well, and one of the things now is that your term is it's going to be for how long is your term for?
It's a 3-year term, so I'm into almost the first year of that 3-year term.
Okay, and I know one of the things that you had just posted on your folks can go to this is Chris Perry for PEC.com, And Wolf, I think you've got that posted up there on our Facebook page. But you just sent this letter out this week for the 2011 election, the future of fair elections at PEC, and I think you had some concerns. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Sure. One of the questions that members are being asked to vote on is the method of electing the board of directors. At the present time, Pedernales members vote in an at-large election. That means that all the members vote for all of the board of directors. We have put a ballot question on this year's ballot to ask members if that should be changed to, we've given three choices, to keep the current system of at-large voting, to switch to what's called single district voting, where members would vote only for the board member from the district in which that board member lives. So we have seven directors, and in the single district system, members would vote for only their director, and they would vote every 3 years. And then there's the combination system, where there would be some board members that would be elected at large and some members that would be elected in the single district approach.
And that, you called that the hybrid voting.
That's what's referred to. The most common method of co-op voting around the country is the at-large system, and that's primarily because there's a concern with these other methods that members are disenfranchised. In other words, if you can only vote for 1 out of 7 directors who run the entire co-op, and you can only vote every 3 years, some people think that that's disenfranchisement, that the members then don't have the full extent of control that they might have under the at-large system.
Well, are there some advantages to the other ones that you can see?
I think there's good arguments. There's been great, real good discussion among the membership about these different methods of electing the board, and the counter argument is that single district voting means that you get to the people that you're voting for. You're more likely to know the directors, the candidates for the director seat, and that person is more likely to represent your interests.
Okay. And so, this is something that while people are voting, their ballots are out right now. Is that it, or when are the ballots going out?
The ballots are out. Most people should have their ballot. Some people may not recognize them for what they are because they're not used to voting in cooperative elections, because we didn't ask them to do that.
Oh, okay.
They just would mail in their proxy card, and the board of directors would decide how to vote those proxies.
Okay. Okay.
So now people are actually really engaged in the election process. They can either vote online, they can mail it in, or they can actually show up at the annual meeting on June the 18th. So the mail-in
and now the annual meeting on June 18th is going to be, that is in Johnson City.
In Johnson City, that's correct.
And folks can find that at the PEC website. And
the election, the online or the mail-in ballots, that process runs through June the 10th, and then that process ends, and then you can come to the annual meeting and file your ballot in person at the annual meeting on June the 18th.
Okay. Well, real good. Well, Chris, appreciate you coming on and talking about what's going on and your experiences. In the last minute or two here, is there anything you'd like to let the people know about that? How they can get involved, or how they can contact you, or anything else on the electric co-op?
Well, they can certainly contact us through the co-op. There's email addresses, I believe, for each board member, and they can email me at chris.perry@pec.com, and they can be involved in managing and governing the co-op in a variety of ways. The website, we're just bringing up this website and the functionality, brand new website with blogs, and there'll be opportunities for member discussion forums on the website. They can get involved in making long-term decisions about the co-op's future through what we call the Integrated Resource Planning Policy. This is a brand new policy that I helped put together, where the co-op, with the help of the membership, will be determining how the co-op should obtain its energy supplies in the future.
Okay.
So that's a process where we hope to get member involvement in making those decisions.
Okay. Well, Chris, thank you very much. And I'm impressed with the changes just in the past few years, with the website, with the PEC, and really appreciate you coming on tonight and talk about that. You're welcome to come on anytime and, get the word out to everyone. We appreciate that. And thank you very much.
Well, Rob, thank you very much for having me, and thanks for your interest in the co-op.
Well, it's always of interest when we have people that want to talk about and get involved and that have gotten out there, because I think that's really interesting for people to know about and for the challenges. So thank you.
It's
Thank